All right, so today we got something interesting. I have a 1951 Ford here that I got to try and get running. So let's take a look at it. It's been a project truck. I don't know if it's been, I think it's been fired up before, but it's been painted. It's been, the front has been lowered and has disc brakes on the solid axle. There's a rear end laying outside, so I'm saying the rear end's probably been swapped out, probably to a higher gear, possibly positive traction. Don't really know. I got a nice bed floor in here. This is the one I'm working on the seat for. So there's these mystery bucket seats that are in here, and they don't fit very well. They don't look good, so we're going to eliminate them. We have what appears to be a GM steering column and a very sticky 70s, early 70s Chevrolet wheel. It's got a Chevy 350, an unknown transmission at this point. And here is my biggest concern. As you can see, the wiring is very much unfinished. So that's going to be a major thing that we got to take care of. Today, what we want to do is try and get her fired up and running and check out the transmission and all that kind of thing. So then there's some other issues. It's got this nice custom roll pan. This is an aftermarket like fiberglass piece. We're missing a backup light. You know, we got some minor things like that. It has these really cool trick tailgate latches that I like. So it's had some nice custom stuff done, such as the gas tank door here. This would not have been like this. Originally, the tank would have been behind the seat. So they've shaved that, put the gas tank filler back here, and that's something I need to check out. Let's check this out real quick. No rotten smell in there, so hopefully it's empty. I do have some gas. We got ethanol free to go in it. Now I do know, I've been down here and looked at it once before, and I do know that we gotta do something about the hood hinges. I can't open this hood one-handed here, so let me get y'all on the tripod here and put you where we're see what we're doing. I think maybe need to even back y'all up a little bit. Let's put you outside here. All right, for right now, so we won't get a full frame. I'll bring you in when we actually start working on the engine, but the hood hinges, the springs are not there, so I gotta find, there's some boards over there, and I gotta find something to get this hood up and get it propped up so I can actually work on it. So let's do that real quick. I see a good one right here. Hopefully this is a good one. So we got to set our board here, find our latch. As y'all may know, I'm not exactly a Ford guy. Well, it ain't too awful heavy. It just doesn't have the springs and whatnot to hold it up there. So we got to prop him. And we're going to have to try and prop him to where he'll stay. So, let's see. Okay, hopefully that'll work. Alright, I'm going to bring y'all in now and take a look at this engine bay. There's something here that's just hilarious. So, you know, we got our 350 Chevy, and for whatever reason, we have this little jackass mounted on top of the motor. So, I don't know what that's about, but I kind of like it. It's kind of neat. So we got serpentine belts. This appears to be a Vortec variety of the 350 Chevy. We got headers. We got our gauges dangling inside the engine bay here, so that's no good. We got our most likely dead battery from November of 17. We got some wires kind of stuck, so we got our work cut out for us on the wiring. And before I even try to make this thing run, there's something I need to look at real quick that I didn't think about first time. So let's go up underneath here and see what kind of transmission we got. I'm hoping it's a TH350, and it looks like it is, because if it's a 700 R4 we got problems, because those are computer controlled. This appears to be, to me, looks like a TH350. You got your governor thing there, that little round thing. That's where the governor that makes it shift. We do have a little bit of fluid in the floor, which honestly, that's expected for these GM transmissions, because all the fluid, when they sit, all the fluid drains down to the pan and kind of overfills it, whereas when they're being run, some of it stays in the converter in other places. So I'm going to say we might be in good shape. Exhaust, so we got the headers, and then we got Flowmasters, and no dumps, no tailpipes, so she's going to be pretty rowdy. Can't wait to hear it run. All right. All right, let me get to some business here. Okay, first order of business here is getting the old battery out of the way, and because I'm gonna say it's dead. I'm just gonna say it's dead. I ain't even messing with it right now. I may take it and try to charge it, but it may not be nothing but a core. All right, let's see here. What we got is our positive will reach over here, and our negative is laying over there. So I think we can slap her in there and then hook them up. Good thing that one's negative, because it's over next to that bolt that's sticking out that appears to be holding the heater core. So now we got our bolt-on cable in to our ground, which is bolted directly to the engine and nothing else. So that means the body is not grounded. But right now, the only thing we're concerned with is the engine. So we're gonna see what we can do with that first. All right, now we want no sparkles, so that's good. I already see some very sketchy wiring here. This appears to be our main wire feeding power to the truck, because your main cable just goes straight to the starter. So the main wire to the truck there. So we need to find the wire going to the starter. I think I see it. Now, unfortunately, it looks like there was a big fan of red wire, because every wire I see is red. All right, so that one comes up from, I believe, from the starter, goes over here, loops around and runs inside to, I'm going to assume, the ignition switch. But thing of it is, our main wire is bolted to this bolt and don't appear to be hooked to anything else. So I'm going to guess that even if we got an ignition switch, I don't know if we got a key or anything. I ain't looked at that. the switch. Let's see if anything happens. I'm kind of doubting. Well, this ain't even that kind of switch. It doesn't have, we got a push button. Okay. Key on, push button. Nice. So somehow we have some power. I'm not really quite sure, because all I'm seeing is this wire going to this block. Oh, okay, so this block, all of these connect together. Okay. I thought they had to be put, so this is the junction block. So anything I put on this should have power. So we got two wires. One's going to be running to our starter button in there, and one's going to be going to our ignition. So that means we need gas. And unfortunately, I forgot to bring my little gas bottle. So we're going to pop this air filter lid off real quick. And we're going to get a little gas in a bottle and see if we can feed her. So looking around, I found a can of starting fluid. Now I'm not a fan of using starter fluid, but I just want to see if our ignition switch is working and we're getting fire. So we're going to turn the key on. We're going to wet its whistle a bit and then see what happens. Oh. Uh-oh. She's not happy. Okay. So, good thing I got jumper cables, because it sounds like our battery is not strong, not up to the task. It's been starting that Datsun just fine, but this is possibly a high compression 350, so that's a big difference from a little stock 4-banger. So we're going to let that kind of clear out a little bit, and then probably try gas next go around. But first thing I want to check, seeing how it sounded like it was kicking back. Yep, our distributor is loose. So, and I don't know. Okay, we have mechanical fuel pump, and the line is going right here to, oh wow, that's some janky looking stuff. Alright, so what I may need to do before I spin her much is unhook this fuel line and fix it to where that'll shoot into a bottle, something I can see. See what's coming out of there, if anything. Like I said, if the tank is dry, that would be great. That'd be perfect. But I don't know. Don't know how long it's been since it's been anything done to this truck. So let me get that fuel line loose, and let's get the toolbox up here for starters. So then we need a flathead screwdriver here, and I'm gonna take it loose from the carburetor end, just because that's probably the easiest one, because they've got a fitting here that is not fitting for this job. It's doesn't appear to be the type of fitting it should be there. Let's just say that. So all this needs to be upgraded, but for now we just want to get this loose and get our fuel line over here. Now we got to find a bottle to let that shoot into, if anything even comes out. All right, we'll find that. We'll come back. Okay, so we've retarded the timing a little bit. Like I say, the distributor is loose, so I doubt they've ever actually set the timing. And then we want to take this here clamp off this hose so that I can get it in my bottle I found. And then I've got another bottle with some gas in it. We're going to try gas instead of the starter fluid this time. Say, I'm not a fan of using starter fluid anyway. So we're going to take and try and get this situated. There we go, like that. So if it does squirt anything, then it'll go in there and I can see what we got coming out of the tank, if anything. Now, we have our fresh gas, and we're going to take and loosen our bottle cap just enough to where it'll dribble a little bit, and carefully put some straight, neat dribbling. There we go. Straight down the carburetor here. Alright. Now, see if she makes some noise. I'll have to give her some help. Looks like. It sounded like it wanted to hit, but I don't know if I've run that battery down messing with my other truck or what. But we're going to pull the truck up and get some jumper going on to it, so be back in a minute. Alright, we got a little juice flowing to it. Let's see if she spins any better. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Give her a little more go juice. Now, I don't know that I'm going to be able to bottle feed it, seeing as how I'm working solo here, but let's see, maybe I can do this. Well, maybe not. Come on, thirsty, ain't you? Woo! Dang it, I was afraid that was going to happen. Okay. Well, we'll let that dry off for a minute. So far, nothing has came out of our pump, which indicates that hopefully that tank is dry. Listen at our tankometer. Okay, so I put gas in it and we had a fuel leak and I had to crawl up under it and tighten the fitting. That's about dried up, but I was giving that plenty of time to air out. Alright, so we got gas in her now. Had to take care of the fuel leak. That's evaporated out now, and so we want to see if she'll spin over and pick up anything. Turn the key on. And oh yeah. Little brown looks like sweet tea right now. Let's give it a little sip and let her run just a little bit more and see if we start getting some clean stuff through. I think this is a single line system, so once it clears the lines, it should be fine. We're going to go one more again. Alright. It ain't the prettiest, but we are getting fuel, and it don't look like straight garbage. Like I say, it looks a little like tea. I think it'll be alright. It's not plum rotten. It won't take it long to clear out the rest of it. So now we put our wonderfully made fuel line back on here. From my understanding, there's been several people who's worked on this truck, so. Don't know who done what. Alright, so now, if we give her another sip. Oh, dang it. Okay, so our lifters are super noisy. I'm hoping they'll clear up. All the smokes from the exhaust headers, it hasn't been run enough to actually burn the paint off yet. I need to get my gauges up here where I can see them. Well, it don't appear that any of them are hooked up besides the oil pressure gauge. And I don't even see anything from it, so that's not a good sign. They're not that low on oil, but let's get him up here where we can take a gander at it when we get her fired back up. So I'm hoping that we don't have a major problem with that. But I don't even see any oil in that tube. That's not good. Other than that, our temperature gauge, I don't even see a place to hook it. They probably didn't either, is why it's not hooked up. So, right now we're just, oh, that's wonderful. The oil cap just crumbled when I touched it. Plastic chrome. And we've got an electric fan that is obviously not hooked up. So I'll have to run a wire to that if I'm gonna run it much. She does run, but we got some issues. Alright, first thing, oh dang it. First thing I want to address is opening that choke, because it's not even hooked up either. Now we want to loosen this up. And so they've got somebody else that was talking to me, and they've got somebody else that is good with wiring. That's going to take care of the wiring issues in the truck. So I don't have to mess with that, thank goodness, because that's not exactly my thing. All right, lean. Go this way, I believe. There we go. Okay, so we just want to take that and open that choke up for now, and we're going to run these screws back in a little bit just so they don't vibrate out. Now, we're going to back the idling off a little bit too, because I want to let her try to idle a little bit and see if she calms down, if we pick up oil pressure, and if the lifter's quieting down. May need a little more oil, I'm not sure. May need an oil change and put old school oil in it, which seems to be an 80s or 90s Chevrolet engine, judging by the valve covers. So I don't think that's going to really be the issue, but I don't know right off. Okay, let's see here. There we go. Alright, let's fire her back up and see if we get any oil pressure, see what happens this go around. Oh yeah! 25 pounds. Comes up in the rib. Thought them lifters was going to quieten up, so she came up to about 40 pounds, but still pretty noisy. Alright, so right now, let me turn the key off for a second. Right now, we need to, I'm going to check the oil again, because after it's run some, it may have went down some. Okay, we got no apparent issues there. It just looks really thin. I don't like the way this dipstick is, but with the battery sitting right where it is, that's kind of how it's got to be, I guess. It's like a van style dipstick that comes all the way out to the front. So what do we need to do now? I honestly think it needs an oil change and maybe some better viscosity oil, because I don't think this oil is right for it. Test leads and make the fan run, that's what we need. Okay, topped off our coolant and got our handy dandy test leads here. Now how long are these things? 18 inch. Hopefully that'll reach the battery. I don't know. I think it will. Let's find out. Alright. Let's see. I would prefer the black one for a ground. Oh yeah, that's not going to reach the battery on its own. Oh well, we do have half a wire reaching across here, if I can keep it out of the pulleys. Run it across the jackass's ear. Let's see. That one I'm assuming is going to be the positive, maybe. Let me get down here where I can see it. No, that's going to be our ground. So that one. Where's the other one go? The other one goes somewhere. Of course it goes somewhere, idiot. Huh. I just noticed. Oh, okay, there's an auxiliary transmission cooler. Although this radiator has a place for it. I don't know why they did that. So we're going to have to chain these things together to get power to this. So we're going to take and run a hot to a hot. Like so. And then we're going to hook that to our power source right here. And then we're going to try not to ground that to anything. And run that to our fan wire right down here. And hang it on the donkey's ear. That could almost reach in one round, but yeah, not quite. Oh! Whoop! Got fire! Ouch! And that got hot quick. Okay, let's rub those rubbers together there. Okay, that will work for now. Now we got a ground. So we're going to take and ground it. And that's going to have to go to the engine because that's the only thing grounded right now. And then we'll take and, oh, them things are slippery. Take and, we have nothing. Our fan is not working. That's directly, stick your fingers in it, dummy. Maybe it'll come on. Directly wired to the fan. And we have nothing. Ah, there it is. All right. We don't need that running just yet. I think we need to turn our idle back up just a little bit or something. It's not wanting to cooperate. It was idling good a minute ago. Might need to adjust our float a little bit. I don't even know where they're at on this kind of. Should be over there. Now what? Well, for starters, we're going to take this here throttle linkage off because it's doing nothing but hanging me up right now. And something we got to look at if we actually get the thing to run right. So this has a ball type fitting, and I don't know, I got to try to adapt that to a cable with a barrel style end. Alright, so kind of seems like we're not getting gas again. We're not squirting anything. For some reason it's not getting gas, it seems. Okay, so had a little visit from the neighbor. Curiosity, I guess. Found out he's the one who gave him the little donkey. So anyway, I'm going to give it a little gas down the carburetor and see if it fires off of that, and see if that's what our problem is that we're not getting gas. Seems to me to be the problem. Well, phooey. Let's try closing the choke. Ooh! Okay. We got fuel pressure. Huh. Maybe too much. There's no return line in this system, so all the fuel that it's pumping is just kind of force fed into the car. So let's open her up and see what happens. I have no idea what the temperature is going to be. overflow is just running out on this grass. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know what the... Seems to be a little overfull on the coolant, and I don't have a catch can. It don't look good either. I put fresh, clean antifreeze in here, and that looks black, nasty. That's what's coming out of the overflow. See if I can do something to catch some of this. Hanging probably right there. For a temporary system, we're gonna flip this around. Hanging right here. We've got a little hose here. We're gonna just take the lid off and put this in here. Do this on here, maybe. No, that ain't quite small enough. Okay, I got the overflow hooked up. Ready to fire her back up, I guess. Alright, move y'all to the side. So while I got her running, I'm going to test the transmission. Forward and reverse is kind of like kicking in and out. Probably needs some fluid. I have to put that on my notes. So I gotta make a list of parts, things that I need. So I'm gonna have to come back and get only run and drive, smooth. That's all I'm tasked with really. Maybe clean. Well, that's not good. She kind of wound down and then started puking out the radiator. It's not clearing up. In fact, it seems to be running worse. So, compression test may be in order, which is going to really suck because these headers is going to be in a way of getting a compression gauge in there. If I had my plug wire pliers, I could narrow down which cylinder is seemingly misfiring. It's running rough. It ain't running good. And now see probably why it never got finished. Oh wow. This steering shaft is rubbing the header and the plug wire boot. Oh, power steering. Let's see if she'll fire back up. I did forget to hook the fan back up. Maybe she's starting to get a little warm. Temperature gauge sure would be nice. If I'd have thought about it, I'd have brought my digital one. Alright, let's circulate some more here. This is not good. This is not a good sign. That looks like oil and no coolant. Indication we may have a blown head gasket. So I'm gonna let that fan run a little bit to try and cool it off a little bit. Doesn't help a whole lot without the coolant circulating. Well, this is not what I wanted to do.